What's going on, everyone? It has been a couple of days. We're back to our regularly scheduled program here, and we're going to talk a little bit about these double S weapons. What's the game plan for me? What's the game plan, or what should the game plan be for free-to-play players out there? As many of you might have noticed, had you watched the previous video, I made the mistake of, waiting till like the last couple hours, having the whole game crash on me, and then for some reason not being able to launch, and then something came up and I couldn't use all my materials, and so I was then left with only a little bit of radars. I got 14,000 right now. Now, fortunately for me, assuming I'm able to place reasonably and also bet on everything and make a reasonable winning, I should be acquiring my divine weapon cubes next week, which does put me a couple of weeks away from the double S acquisition, which is a little unfortunate, no doubt about it. I'm sure a lot of you are in that realm as well, depending on where you put yourself in the ranking system and, of course, how well you bet. But regardless, every free-to-play player, for the most part, we're not able to get the full amount. And anyone that isn't spending money, period, even if you aren't free to play, you're going to have to wait for the next shop reset anyways for these divine weapon cubes. So what should the game plan be? Is it full on focus? Yes, you should be full on focusing for your double S rank weapon. Now, I would love to get some more data pulled in and do some more research on all of the information regarding the double S rank weapon. Of course, should I be going for the Blade of Justice, the Sky Splitter, the Whisper, the, Reaper Staff? What should I be going for? It definitely seems to be initial consensus that the Whisper is less than ideal at this current moment. It's still an upgrade. I know some people have been mentioning that it's not upgrade or it's not an upgrade, but in terms of the longevity of it, even in the initial stages, it's a nice little bonus, and then you get the stats to build onto it. There's a couple of bugs with it, so I think they're fixing those. But yes, all the double S rank weapons are, in theory, upgrades. There might be some changes in terms of what specific content, but I know for myself as a Whisperer user, my current goal right now is to get my mythic weapon, period, but actually to accumulate the divine weapon cubes and to most likely transition into a different build, which kind of stinks. And I don't really want to because, I have all these heroes and I have all these brands. Now, fortunately, with the heroes, both the Sky Splitter and the Whisperer want a similar style, which is skill based. So although I would love to go Blade of Justice, it's just too big of a change. I would still be using things like Wild Vulture, and I could still use even the Joker. I would be swapping the Murloc because I don't need Combo Plus or the Rogue for the build for the Sky Splitter. And instead, I would most likely be transitioning over to a couple of other ones, potentially the Pirate Swordsman with the basic deck Sword Aura, and then also most likely, where is this guy? Undead Swordsman's an option. You can also go, there's a couple of other options with the there's even the new mechanical magic guy, which is kind of cool. There's definitely a couple of options for your build for Sky Splitter, and so that's kind of the direction I think I'm going to be leaning towards. Even though it'll be a little bit of a stall of progress, I think the bonus from the double S Sky Splitter is going to be that much better for my overall long-term progression. Now, this isn't for sure yet. Of course, I still have, a couple of weeks to think about this. For those of you that are, on top of the martial arts tournament, didn't have any crashes happen to you, then you will definitely potentially have the first purchase. So you're only, until the next martial arts happens, you only have to wait till then. And that's going to be pretty nice. And then you can start moving on to the mounts. But I definitely think everyone's top priority should be these weapon cubes, 100%. What also changes is potentially a brand new initial strategy. So before we spoke about how you should 100% be going for, your Blade of Justice or your Angel Bow in the early game. But those ones don't have double S upgrades. So you, in the intermediate period, while you're waiting for your mythic weapon, aren't really going to be able to use a great effective weapon. The question is, do you still go and summon on that banner and then maybe just in the meantime upgrade to a legendary, let's say Sky Splitter, that's your transition, and you go for Sky Splitter and then you double S upgrade that, but it's not like +1, +2, or +3 or anything like that, and you're still summoning on the Angel Bowl or Blade of Justice banner to continue getting your Bloody Grail and your Judgment Ring, and then you just stay with just a base legendary double S, version. I think that could be an argument, and that way you still get the banner value, but then you're still able to use a double S rank weapon, since it does give you the option to double S it as soon as you hit the legendary category, which is going to be a big upgrade and probably going to be better than just +1, +2, or +3 on your legendary weapon. As an example here, let's say I had this Whisper and or let's say I was going to go Whisper and I was using the Angel Bow currently, which is what I would have recommended a lot of people to do. Well, you'd be sitting on a +3 Angel Bow, and let's say I have the ability to double S rank, because again, you could do this very early on. You could accumulate these divine weapon cubes very early on. Well, I'd want to transition to Whisper, because then I can immediately start, refining it and working out the stats. And even though it's not +3, I still can have that double S effect, which would be very, very powerful. So I think that is an interesting conversation, but definitely the game plan as of right now for me and for most free-to-play players, your goal should be just to accumulate those divine weapon cubes and go for that double S rank weapon no matter what. It's going to be pretty important for you. I think the next step is definitely the Capybara Veyron. It is pretty awesome to have. You're going to get that massive 15% global attack boost. And then remember, you can continue to star that up afterwards. So even though there's a couple of other really interesting ones like the Legacy box, or even the gear selection box, or some of these things that could be potentially pretty valuable, getting them out is going to be massive. Guaranteed speed generation and extra global attack is huge. There is a consideration for those of you that are interested in changing up your build. I mean, this legacy box does have access to all the S rank stuff that you could be looking for. If you're looking for a Wild Vulture, or maybe you're trying to transition into whatever it is you want, the Reaper Staff, or for the Wise Archdemon, etc. Whatever it is, this is a nice way to transition your build relatively quickly. So that is something to be on the lookout for. But I mean, honestly, ever since the, final reveal of the betting system, this event's been pretty awesome. And the fact that it's going to continue to go and it gives you more options in the game, I'm pretty excited about. So hopefully you all are as well. Let me know what you're thinking about. Let me know what you're doing in your builds, or if you're transitioning from, your Whisper to something else down below. I'm not going to do a full, why I'm changing to Whisper yet video, because I'm going to have to see some more data and do a little bit more research. Hopefully there's going to be some more data shown from people who are able to test all these different weapons. And when I do get that, that's when I'll be doing my video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all for the next one.